Do you love drama as much as I do? Plot shifts and heart-pounding turns will keep you enthralled in the new book, Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Dana and Marshall are drawn to each other, but their flame has a tendency to burn and splinter all that once mattered, quite possibly even each other. Will they make it through the debris or become part of the ruins? Find out when you purchase your copy of Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash, now available via Amazon Books and all Kindle devices, and it's free with Kindle Unlimited.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Sing it, girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hello, welcome to Life is P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash. I thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a try. I appreciate whatever site you found me on. Thank you. If you're a repeat listener, welcome. I so missed you. Today, I want to talk about balance, and I know I'm jumping right into it, but the reason why I'm jumping into it is because of my balance that is not really attained. So I hear a lot of people, motivational speakers. I hear people talking about the chase for balance, and they just want a well-balanced life. And sometimes I wonder, is balance truly achievable? Is it sort of like, you know, if you're a Christian and give your life to Christ and you're supposed to do everything that's Christ-like and follow him, but in the back of your mind, you kind of know that it's not achievable, right? Or you would be Christ, but it's admirable endeavor to chase after it and to be your best and do your best. And sometimes I think about the chase for balance the same way. It's admirable to chase it. You want it. But is it the thing that you can have for more than a moment? Like maybe you have this one moment where everything, and honestly, guys, if you've achieved balance, please get at me at P Writes on Twitter or at P Writes on Instagram and give me some pointers. How do I get there and stay there? Because I have moments where I feel like I've achieved some sort of balance, but a couple moments later, it's boom. I'm lopsided all over again. And just an example of that, right now, I'm at a contract job trying to multitask and make sure that I check in with you guys to figure out how do we get balance between working 9 to 5s and trying to plow through manuscripts and trying to figure out how to market my books and market myself and going to speaking engagements and conducting workshops and being a mom and being a wife. I mean, how does it really balance? I feel like there's no two ways. There's no career and family. That I feel like it's more of a 5-point star. I have different areas of my life, and I really don't know how much time to give each thing. I don't know how much is enough, but I always seem to know that it's not enough, or I always seem to feel as though I'm not giving enough. I'm not doing enough marketing. I'm not doing enough writing. I'm not spending enough time with my daughter. I'm not spending enough time with my husband. And I truly don't know how to balance. And I'm not sure if at this point in my life, if that's achievable, particularly because there's so many areas of my life that seem to be budding. I know that there's a certain level of work that I have to put in order to get these things going. So I wonder, do I ever get to the point where I've got some sort of engine going and it seems that it's running by itself somewhat? Do I feel balanced then, or do I get a whole new set of goals or a whole new set of levels that I want each area of my life to reach, and I'm back in the grind again? And maybe it's me. Maybe I don't know how to pause and enjoy myself. I know that when I published my books last year, I had someone tell me that I'm not taking the time to enjoy the accomplishment. And I talked about it last year. And apparently I need to bring this up several times and maybe every year, put it on my calendar. But they were saying that you're not taking the time out to enjoy the accomplishment. So you don't celebrate it. It's very hard to celebrate with you or for you, because then you're moving on to the next thing you're working on. So when do you ever get the moment to say, okay, boom, I did it? And I try to stop and say, oh, look, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. And I even have a couple of whiteboards in my house that I check off accomplishments on so that I can remember to celebrate myself. Or when I'm feeling low or feeling as though I'm not accomplishing anything, I can glance around my rooms and say, no, look at what you've done. But, I'm also one of those people that if too much time passes between accomplishments, I will feel as though the past accomplishment matters a lot less. And there are some people who are like, you should feel like that and you should continue to chase. But then how do I chase the balance? And is the balance worth chasing? Do I just give up and say, I'm never going to be balanced? Or do I continue to chase it because the closer I can get to it, even if I don't attain it wholeheartedly, if I can just attain a little bit of it, maybe it'll make my life easier. I don't know. I get why people pay so many people for services. I was thinking about doing a Shopify account, and I was thinking about how I need more marketing and all these different things. I don't know if I talked to you guys about, so I bought this Cricut, and it's this cutter that you can cut material and place, you gotta get an iron or something, and you can make t-shirts or you can make all kinds of gear or whatever, and you can sell it. And I was like, oh, that's another business opportunity. It's another idea. But I've had the thing since November, and I still have not, 1, figured out how to use it. 2, I have not taken the time to figure out how to use it. 3, I don't think I have all the materials that would allow me to use it fully as I envisioned. So I'm going to sell it. I don't have the time. I don't. And I'm like, I got to figure out a different way that's not going to take as much time from me as this craft project would take. I have friends who love crafts, and even they don't have the time. So what am I doing with this thing? It's just making me feel guilty because it's sitting there and I'm not doing anything with it. And somebody else who can, make a living, make a life for themselves, who maybe wants to get this product and wants to get it at a discounted price, maybe I can help make their lives better. But it's not making mine any better. It's sort of just adding to the weight on my shoulders because I feel guilty that there's this thing my daughter's not old enough for me to make it a mommy and me thing. She's not. She's 3. I don't want her to hurt herself. It is a cutter. I don't know what to do with it. My husband's not interested in it. So I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to get rid of it because part of my chase for balance, or not even a chase for balance, but a chase to feel good in as many moments as possible, is to unload some of this weight that's sitting on my shoulders. And having this thing that I intended to use for the past 6 months, but never did. I mean, when I say never did, never did. I didn't put not one piece of material, paper, anything in there. I didn't get on the computer. I didn't try to do a design. I didn't try to do a logo. I didn't do anything. It is just there, looking real pretty, but it's just there. So what am I doing with it? Except for feeling guilty and coming to work with extra weight on my shoulders that I feel guilty. I bought this thing that I'm never going to use. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I divvy up my time in a more effective manner because when I need to hustle and do contract jobs, they take 40 hours a week. That's a lot of time. And it's a lot of time away from manuscripts. And, people say, oh, you can write at night when you get home. Your daughter goes to bed about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm exhausted by then. I'm up 5:30, 6 o'clock getting us ready. And my husband's up. We're all getting ready. He takes her to school. I'm off to work. And then I'm working all these hours. And then I come home. I pick her up. Got to make sure she has dinner. And a second of my time, I got to give her some attention. And then I'm giving her a bath and putting her to bed. And by then I'm asleep too. Yes, my daughter is crazy spoiled. She's not the 3-year-old that I can tell her, go in her room, go lay down and go to sleep. Not even read a bedtime story and shut off the light is not happening. I need to lay down next to her. I think for both her and me. She loves cuddling up underneath me. Look, last night she asked me if she can fall asleep in my arms. And maybe because she's the first child out of 8 to survive that I oblige. I don't know, maybe, but mortality is so present for me for so many different reasons that I'm just like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. And God forbid, if someone ever takes her away from me, I'm going to oblige and let her fall asleep in my arms and let her get comfortable and maybe have an extra cup of coffee. But I'm not built to be up all night. I can probably be up all night writing if I had a deadline or if I knew it was only going to be like 2 nights this week. But I can't, I'm not built to do it 5 nights a week. I'm just not built for it. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Maybe it's worse now that it's spring because my allergies knocking all the oxygen out of me. And so I feel tired all the time. And I'm taking vitamins. I'm eating my fruits. I'm eating my vegetables. I'm exercising. I'm still tired. So, if you have a way to get more balanced without costing me an arm and a leg to pay 5,000 people to take 5,000 things off my plate, please get at me. Because I'm already planning on, okay, I'm going to pay this person to do this and pay this person to do that. But at the same time, I have to hustle. I have to grind because I can't pay them with nothing. I have to find additional money. The money that I'm finally making is, allocated to certain things in my life. There's certain standard of living that I want my child to have, that my husband, because at the same time, I don't want my whole life to be a chase. I want there to be moments where I enjoy what is happening right now. I don't want to only enjoy it in memories. I want to enjoy the moment. I want to take it in. I want to appreciate my life. I want to appreciate the spot I'm standing in. I want to recognize how hard I worked before to get to where I am now. I want to bask in it. I just don't know how. And this is pure honesty. I really don't know how. I have all these great nuggets about how to get your mind together and how to chase your goals and how to not hold everyone accountable to your level of support, or try to have an open mind and figure out who is actually supporting you and who isn't, and who you're being too hard on, and how do you need to move in order to get to where you want to go and feel good about yourself. I have all those nuggets. However, I don't have the nuggets to make them all work together perfectly at the same time. I don't. I try meditation. I've tried prayer. I don't. I actually love talking to you guys to get it off my chest. And that's why sometimes I go a week or so without a show, because I have to snatch a moment here or there. And sometimes I'm like, okay, this is the thing that has to give. Just like sometimes I go a week or so without writing because that's the thing that has to give. Though I can't give too much time to not being a mommy or not being a wife. I mean, last year I went on vacation. I went to Hawaii. It wasn't even really a vacation. It was great though. I went to the conference, to the ColorCom conference, which I'm going again this year in Miami. And that's basically the week that I can give to not being a mommy for a week, sort of. Because I'm going to check in on my child. Come on now. So things have to give a little here or there, and I have to figure out how to I rarely get time for myself, which is why, people sometimes bark on me like, you're not taking any time. You need to get a babysitter and go out for a date night. Our last date night, we watched a movie in the house while she was taking a nap. So I know we're so dry. We're getting dry. I don't want to be dry. So if you have pointers, please get at me at PWrites on Twitter or at PWrites on Instagram. Let me know what your pointers are so that we can get this balance together, because I don't want to be lopsided all the time. I feel like the lopsidedness sometimes causes me some back pain, some foot pain. And then that's the thing, like I'm missing out on doctor's appointments. I need to go get my foot looked at. My heel is killing me. I'm often like, it's sensitive. I think I have a heel spurt. I'm not sure where it came from, but things like that. I'm just constantly off balance. I'm never getting to all the things that I'm supposed to take care of. Everything is a hustle. Everything is a grind. And I'm not foolish enough to look at someone else's life or look at celebrities or people who have been doing what I've been doing for a very long time and assume that they have more balance than I do because they can afford to pay this, that, or the other person. There are people that I know who have what I would believe is everything. You know, they have money in the bank, they have money to lend, they have money to get their bills straight without worrying about being past due, or they can take vacations whenever they choose. They can pay for their children to go to school. They can do all of these things. And we still have discussions about why they're depressed. So I don't believe that that's a full balance either. There's something else missing. There's something else that's not adding up, that's not fitting on the scale properly. And so I think that that's a worry of mine too, that do I attain all these things? Do I attain all these bounds? Is it attainable? Or do I end up with depression because there's still something missing? Maybe I'm the kind of person that needs to chase. Maybe I need to constantly be grinding. Maybe I need to constantly be working on the next thing in order to, maybe I don't know what to do with the moment. And I think that's possible. That's possible that I don't know what to do with the good, with the quiet, with the celebratory moment. Maybe I don't know what to do with it. I urge you to figure out what to do with your celebratory moments. Otherwise, you're going to be like me, constantly questioning if balance is not only achievable, but if you're someone who can actually appreciate balance. Now that I think of it, I don't know if I'd be able to appreciate it in the moment. If I achieve something that's had everything going like at a good pace, everything was going at a good pace. I just put, the right amount of work into everything. And I even had a chance to breathe. I don't know if I could appreciate it past the moment. I'm not sure. And maybe that's why I can't ever fully reach it or attain it. Maybe it's because my body, my spirit, whatever, knows that I wouldn't know what to do with it. I don't know if I would know what to do with it. Somebody teach a course on that, not a webinar, because I don't trust them. But like point me at a YouTube or something to watch, somebody talk about it, a TED Talk, something, because I'm curious if there's a guideline of what to do with it. I don't know. I mean, I know I'd take a break and go on vacation, but then I'd want to, whatever I see, that's the first time I've ever seen it. I always want to expose my daughter to it or expose my husband to it. And, having them present is my joy, but it's also work. I have to be present. I have to pay attention. I have to see what's going on, especially for my daughter. I have to protect her. I have to protect her from the world around her. I have to show her how to maneuver so that she doesn't hurt herself or leave herself open to be hurt by someone else. And then at the same time, I have to show her how to protect herself if someone does try to hurt her or if someone is hurting her, how to overcome that. So that in itself is constant mind game. I'm constantly thinking about those things. I don't know if I have enough rest in my mind to be able to take advantage of balance. And it's possible that I may not even recognize it when I see it, that I may only know once I've passed the moment. That I don't think I've ever had a moment where I thought, yeah, this is balance. This feels good. I've had moments where I've looked back and be like, wow, I was pretty balanced. I was pretty good. I was going pretty, but maybe I don't know what to do with it. Do you know what to do with it? Is your life balanced? Do you feel that you've achieved it? Again, if so, reach out to me on Twitter. I'd love to talk about it. I'd love if you give me some pointers. Maybe it's something I could pass on to someone else because I want us all to feel good. So get at me on Twitter at PWrites or on Instagram at PWrites. I'm Phoenix Ash on Facebook. If you ever want to purchase any of my work, because I am accomplishing some things, my novel, In Her Makeup, is available on Amazon as well as Kindle. So is my novel, Soiled Sheets. It's available on Amazon and Kindle. My nonfiction book, Long Neck Bottles, is available on Amazon, Kindle, as well as Audible. And that's basically a journey to me deciding to write full time and the struggles that I had and how my spirit just threw a straight up temper tantrum. But it also has a lot of nuggets of how we move and how we maneuver to accomplishing our goals and putting more weight on what we want to accomplish and less weight on who's my supporter, who's cheering for me. Because sometimes we pay a little too much attention to that. Anyway, I look forward to the next time you and I can exchange power. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Peace.